with the news about the skipper. What's your reaction to that, and is it a really big blow for the team?
Oh, there's no doubt it's a blow. I mean, we'd love to have Pup with us as a batsman and as our captain, but it is what it is, and we've got to deal with the fact that we don't have him for tomorrow. And the challenge is there and the opportunities there for the rest of us to step up. And I know it'll be a great boost to the side to know that we can win without him. We had to do it quite a bit over the summer in the one day format, so we know we can.
I know you're not a medical man, but I guess now you must be thinking about keeping him right for the Ashes. That balance now needs to be kind of thought about, really.
Well, I'm sure all those that worry about those sorts of things will be getting that right. I know talking to him last night, he's still really keen to try and be right for Game 2, Game 3, and once again, if we can win this game, then I guess that gives him a little bit of breathing space, probably a little less pressure to get back for New Zealand. But knowing Puppy's, the sensible thing you'd think would be to get right for the Ashes, but he's desperate to play, certainly in this tournament and going forward one-day cricket as well. So he's doing everything he can, I think.
What about you, George? I mean, here you've been elevated into the captaincy. I know you've done it a bit before, and you're the 2020 captain, but nonetheless, it's big pressure for you, isn't it? Big game against England, the first of 26 and all that.
Yeah, it is, but I don't really see it as I'm not under any more pressure than any other captains. First and foremost, my role is to score runs in that middle order for us, and if I can do that, then we've got enough senior guys, and our players have played enough cricket to know the basics of the game. I'm not going to do anything as a captain that's going to revolutionise the game. It's all pretty basic stuff that we've just got to do well. We've got to do better than the other sides. But first and foremost, my role is to score runs. So whether you're captain or vice captain or whatever title's next to your name, that doesn't change.
But the fact that you're sort of temporary captain, does that not have an effect on the side going out?
It may do. You'd have to talk to the individuals, but once again, I mean, I think our guys are clear enough. I'm not the one bowling the ball for them. I talk to our bowlers and we set the plans, but they're the ones executing it. It's all their skills. Shane Watson and Davey Warner go out and open the batting. It's still the individual that ends up making the game happen. I'm just in charge of hoping the coin lands the right way, really.
And you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like at times there's pressure from the press because you're new at it or you're less experienced. But at the end of the day, what am I like if we lose? Am I judged on that? If we win, am I judged on that? I think very rarely does a captain have an influence on that, bar the fact that how he performs as an individual.
George, you're obviously Australia are obviously looking for a hat-trick of titles in the Champions Trophy. But what has gone on the past 1 year? You obviously lost here in England the ODI series comprehensively, lost the Test series in India. How's the mood and belief in the camp that can you guys realistically achieve the hat-trick?
I honestly reckon all 8 sides would be believing that they can win the tournament. There's no doubt about that, and that, in terms of a cricket spectacle, must be really exciting for fans around the globe, knowing that your country is in with a real shot of winning the title, and we're no different to anyone else. As for the last 12 months, I honestly think the biggest difference has just been our consistency of performance. Our best is still as good as anyone else, any other teams in the world. If we play our best cricket, then I've got no doubt we can win the tournament. We probably will win the tournament. But if we don't play our best, and that's been the issue, is that the gap between our best and our worst performances has probably grown from those teams that have won the Champions Trophy in the past. And our challenge, I think, well, any team's challenge is to close the gap between your best and your worst performances, because you're not going to play your best every game. But the challenge is to make sure that on the days when you are a little bit off, you can find a way to put a team under enough pressure that they succumb.
George, England insist they haven't been having a laugh at your expense after you got rolled cheaply the other day. Do you believe them?
They can if they. Yeah, I'm not really fussed. I mean, it's not an ideal preparation to get bowled out for 65, but we'll start on 0 tomorrow. They'll start on 0 tomorrow. How they prepare or how they take that is completely up to them.
George, there's a lot of cricket coming up between England and Australia over the next 8 months or so. I mean, 10 back-to-back tests. How significant is this game in terms of laying down a marker for all the cricket coming up?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, I think for this tournament, I think it's huge because I think it's such an important tournament to start well. So first blood, just for this tournament's big. As for the summer, I'm sure the team that wins will like to think that that takes a little bit of momentum forward into the rest of the summer. But there's so many factors that will come into, as you said, it's over such a long period. There's so many games of cricket that'll come into it that I can't see it having a big bearing on how the rest of the summer goes. So much of it will come down to key players performing well, who's injured, who's not, all those things. So more importantly, I think how far each side progresses in this tournament, that'll certainly give the sides, the countries, a little bit of momentum and a little bit of confidence going forward, but not so much this game.
George, I don't want to appear overly negative at all, but even before a ball has been bowled, but I mean, people would look at the 65 all out and the fact that Michael Clarke's not here and say, look, this is Australia at a pretty low ebb. I mean, what would you say about the sort of comparative straight of Australian cricket as you sit here now?
Good on them. And why wouldn't you be thinking that? So what a great opportunity for us to prove a lot of people wrong. What a way to galvanise the side. So, as I said, people have their opinions, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to them, and a lot of them are probably well thought out opinions. But at the end of the day, it's just how you perform in the games. We're not. I don't think anyone. You can't completely disregard the 65 because you never want to have that in a practice game, or you never want to have that in any sort of game. It's not the ideal preparation, but hoping that certainly doesn't happen tomorrow.
George, England found it tricky against New Zealand in the one-day series. Obviously, you've been over here, playing county cricket and so on. Is this perhaps quite a good time to play them, although they won the other day?
I haven't really thought of it that way. Does that mean there's a bad time to play them? If this is a good time to play them, I mean, I think they've played some pretty good cricket in their one day. A lot's been written about it, but I think New Zealand played some really good one day cricket, and they certainly threw themselves into calculations, or strong calculations, for this tournament as well. But the fact they won that game yesterday, they'll take a lot of confidence out of that. Across the 3 games, I think they got some really strong performances out of most of their key players, or if not, their key players are so good that they won't be far off the mark in terms of performing at some stage. So, yeah, I mean, they're just a good side.
George, this venue, Edgbaston, has sort of mixed memories for Australia. Obviously, the 1999 semi-final, you guys, that tied game, and then 2005 second Ashes Test, one of the greatest Ashes Tests ever. So, what sort of mindset or what sort of memories do the Australians have about this ground?
I reckon if you asked half of our side, they couldn't even remember 1999. So I don't think they'll be taking too much out of those games at all. They're long games. It's not like we've had recent history or trouble here. They're great games of cricket. I think as fans and as cricketers, you hope that tomorrow will be something similar.
George, how's Mitchell Marsh sort of reacted to being back in this environment again after, a bit of a period out, injuries and a few other dramas? So how's he sort of responded to being back with a real chance to cement his spot in the team?
Yeah, I think really well. Every time I've had anything to do with Mitch, I've just been really impressed. I think he really thrives around this group, thrives around having some strong players to look up to and to learn off. There's no doubt amazing talent. There's a lot of players like that around the world that have got amazing talent. So the challenge for him is to harness that and then perform on the big stage. And he's done that on numerous occasions. He's a couple of his early games for Australia, he performed well. So I don't think he's certainly daunted by playing international cricket. And every time I see him, he's wanting to learn. He's asking questions. He's doing everything he can. So I think the real key for him is to try and stay on the park for as long as he can. He's had a bit of a mixed run with injury. Anytime he tends to get a bit of momentum, something seems to knock him back a couple of steps. So hopefully for his cricket, he can spend most of this winter and the following summer fit.